Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are going to talk about percussion instruments. But first, what are percussion instruments? Percussion instruments are musical instruments. How do we know if they're percussion? Well, you see guys, in music instruments, there are different kinds of families. Some are strings, like a guitar, it has strings. Some are wind instruments, we blow air into it. So how do we know it's percussion? Let's check the meaning behind it. Percussion instruments are instruments that are played by hitting or shaking. So any instrument that we hit or shake are considered percussion instruments. Do you know that the drum is a percussion instrument? Yes, it is a percussion instrument because we hit it. Now, I have one more fact for you. Do you know that the biggest drum in the world is in South Korea? Later, I will show you a video that shows this huge drum. I gave drum as an example because it is the oldest, simplest, and most common musical instrument. You see guys, in different countries, people have different kinds of musical instruments. So we have drums in my country, in the Philippines, but they don't look all the time like the drums that we see in different parts of the world. However, what is common about these drums is first, how we make them and how we make sound with them, how we play them. Now, to make a sound with a percussion instrument, like what I gave you as an example, a drum, you have to hit it or shake it. Okay, another example of it is a tambourine, like this one that I have. If you notice guys, we have here some plates that when we shake would make a sound. Hitting or shaking sets up vibration in the air, and that is how we make a sound. So when we hit it, or when we just shake it, see that? Yes. The vibration from these plates, when they hit each other or when they hit against something, or when they're just shaking by themselves, these vibrations travel from the tambourine to our ears, and that's how we hear sounds. Now, can you please give me some other examples of percussion instruments? I want you to list it down on your notebooks, and before you list it down, make sure to ask yourself, do we hit this instrument? Do we shake this instrument? If the answer to your question is yes, then you can be sure it is a percussion instrument. On page 66 of your books, this one, you will see that there are more different kinds of percussion instruments. Like this one, for example, this is what they call a daf, and it is a drum from the Middle East. So, how do we change or how do we adjust the pitch of these sounds? For you to better understand, guys, I attached a video, and before anything else, I want to remind you, I do not own this video. However, I'm attaching it because I find it useful in your learning. I want you to watch it, and while you're watching, please take down notes. And in the video, guys, you will find and see vibrations with a camera that they use to show it to you up close and in a slow motion. So you can actually check how the musical confetti they use bounce off the drum. Now, I will not say anymore about the video because I want you to get excited.
Drums have been around for a long, long time and they were often used in war. A drum has been found by archaeologists in a place called Moravia in Europe, and it turned out to be 8,000 years old.
Whoa! But drums are pretty simple instruments. They're called percussion instruments. And percussion just means one thing hitting another. Thank you. And so to play a drum, all you need to do is hit it. That is beautiful, Greg.
Thanks.
But as well as the drum, other percussion instruments include the triangle. Thank you. The tambourine. Thank you. And the cymbals.
Are you sure?
Yes.
OK.
That's pretty loud.
Drums come in all shapes and sizes, but basically each of them is a hollow body which has a skin over the top. And the skin is stretched very, very tight. When you bang a drum, the skin vibrates. The vibration of the drum makes the air particles inside and around the drum vibrate too, and this forms sound waves. The sound waves travel out in all directions, and if they reach your ears, that means you'll hear the sound of the drum.
Right, so we have got this drum here, and let's imagine that this confetti are the tiny particles that make up air, the air molecules, right? And watch what happens when I hit the drum. Thank you.
Whoa! That's good.
That is awesome. That is cool. So when the skin of the drum vibrates, it makes the air molecules, the confetti, also vibrate and bounce into the air.
Oh, I think we're going to see this much better if we use my super slow-mo camera. OK, go. So there's the hit. It sets the drum skin vibrating. It chucks that musical confetti into the air just like the air molecules are vibrating above the drum skin. And you can still see the skin vibrating.
It is awesome. It's brilliant.
Looks amazing.
So sound waves are invisible, but another way of imagining how they work is to use this bowl of water and a tuning fork. Tuning forks are used by musicians to make sure that their instruments are playing the right notes. And they work by simply banging them, and then they play a certain note.
Oh, nice.
This one plays the note E.
Oh, which means that I can tune the E string on my guitar. Go on.
Let's do it. You there?
That's it.
Now, if I bang this tuning fork again, but this time put it into this bowl of water, watch what happens.
Whoa! So let's use our super slow-mo camera and get a closer look. Oh! In super slow-mo, you can see that the tuning fork wobbles. It's those vibrations that make the sound waves. And it's the same vibrations that get the water all excited too.
And it's quite a good way just to spread water everywhere, to be honest with you.
It is, isn't it? Now, you may not realise it, but you actually have one of these inside here. Yes, inside your ear is something called your eardrum. It's like a drum because there is a thin piece of skin-like tissue stretched tight across the opening between your outer ear canal and your middle ear. When the sound waves hit your eardrum, they make it vibrate, just like when Fran hit the skin of her drum earlier. The middle ear and the inner ear convert those vibrations into signals that our brains interpret as sounds.
Now, excuse me, big drums have a lot of air inside them, and when a drum has a lot of air to vibrate, it makes a low sound. It has what we call a low pitch.
But this little drum has less air inside it, and when you have less air to vibrate, you get a sound with a high pitch.
Nice. But you can also change the sound a drum makes in other ways too. So this drum has a skin which you can make tighter or slacker by turning these handles. So at the moment, the drum sounds like this.
And if we tighten the skin, it sounds like this. Higher. You can even tighten the skin as you're playing it as well to change the pitch. The other thing that's interesting is that the harder you hit the skin, the larger the vibrations and the louder the sound. But the lighter you hit the skin, the smaller the vibrations and the quieter the sound.
And that is what we call
volume! There are lots of different types of drums and drum sounds. You can play just one drum, like a marching drum. Thanks, that's enough. Thanks, that's great. Cheers, thank you. Or you can put lots of different drums together to make a drum kit. And that is exactly what we're going to do right now in a 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes!
done.
Look at that!
Now, what we've got here is, down here, we've got a cardboard box, which is like our bass drum, which we can hit like that.
This is my favourite bit.
It's cool.
Brilliant.
We've got our beautiful cymbal right here. Now, these are the drums. And this one's got a little bit of Greg's spare change on top, so that's our snare drum. Nice sound. And to finish off, we have our big bin drum.
No, actually, there's one more thing we need. An old oil can that I've scrubbed clean. Now I think we are ready to rock.
The largest drum ever made is a South Korean Chongdong drum. It's 5.5 meters wide. It's 5.5 meters wide, 6 meters tall, thank you, and weighs 7,000 kilograms. That is heavier than an African elephant.
However, if you want to make drums that are simple and easy to make, fun to play, and cost hardly anything, then we are going to show you how.
What you need is a plastic cup, elastic band, a balloon, and some scissors. Now be careful with the scissors. And what you do is you take the balloon and you simply just snip off the neck of the balloon, like that. Then you just need to place it over your cup, and it's really important to stretch it completely with no lumps and bumps in. And then you take the elastic band and tighten it up. Can you just help me with this, Greg?
Sure.
Can you just put it over?
1, 2.
And there you go. That is your drum made. Greg, can you just patch it in that kitchen mallet?
Yes.
Thank you. And you just hit it.
Works well. You can make other types of percussion instruments as well by adding rice, or I've got some popcorn here that hasn't been popped yet. You can just put that inside the bottom of your cup and...
Ah, it makes like maracas. I like that. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Pretty cool, but I've got to say, I think my homemade drum kit wins this one.
Take it away, Mr. Holst.
Let's go to Mars!
So what have we learned from that video? We have learned that some drums have a skin that is stretched over the top. When we stretch the skin, it makes the vibrations quicker. Now, if we tighten the skin and make the vibrations quicker, we produce higher pitched sound. The more that we stretch it, the faster the vibration and the higher the pitch. The drums in the steel band are in different sizes. When you hit the top of one of the drums, the metal top vibrates and it makes the sound. The air trapped in the drum makes the sound loud. Banging a small drum makes fast vibrations and a higher pitched note. The harder you hit the drum, the louder the volume is. But the softer you hit it, the softer the sound is. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.